The MSI GTX 960 2G comes with two separate applications to make overclocking a bit easier and give you a little bit more control. First of them is the MSI Gaming App, which is actually a very simple application, but actually does quite a bit. When you first open it up, you're going to get the Gaming App introduction, which lets you know here, and gives you a brief explanation that it does have three different modes. OC mode, which is the default out of the box, which provides 1216 megahertz base clock with a boost clock of 1279. Gaming mode, slightly lower speed, but it is a little bit quieter. And silent mode, which actually brings it down to the standard GTX 960 1126 base clock, which is the reference speed of a GTX 960 right out of the box. The silent mode, of course, bringing it down, bringing clock speed down is going to bring down the fan a bit so that you will have less noise. Now also there's a cool down mode, which actually brings the fan on at 100% for 40 seconds to cool the card down if should you need it. Moving on, you've got the gaming logo. When you click on it, it will flick back and forth between performance and noise level or just the megahertz of the GPU. In OC mode, you'll see the maximum performance, obviously, and going down to gaming and silence, you'll see the performance decrease a bit as well as the noise level. Moving on, you've got the iRest mode and gaming mode, which we'll take a look at, actually, and a movie mode, and you can customize what the iRest mode actually does. Cuts down the blue, so it brings down the color temperature of your monitor, gives your eyes a little bit of a rest. Gaming mode makes things pop a little bit more. Just with one click. Movie mode automatically detects the output and dynamically adjusts, and you also have a user customizable mode. Now you can set it not to display the message again next time you bring it up. Click OK. And the gaming app itself is very, very small, as you see here. Now going through, see you've got OC mode. And as you see, you've got your GPU clock at 1216 megahertz. Going to gaming mode, drops down to 1190 megahertz. And silent mode is going to drop it down to 1127. Like I said, standard reference speed. So very, very quick selectable overclocks right there. As we said before, clicking on the game shield will bring up the performance and noise level. You'll notice there is no output for the noise level right now. As we saw with the Twin Frozr, it doesn't run the fan unless it's over, we're finding about 60 degrees, and the card rarely gets over that at all. So it's very, very rare the fans even run on the card. MTX did a fantastic job with the cooling solution on this card. Now moving over to the right, on the top, you can set your iRest mode, all simple one click, and as you see, you get a distinct drop in the color temperature. Gaming mode makes things pop a bit more. Movie mode actually looks at the output and dynamically adjusts it. Customize allows you to adjust the gamma, level, brightness, contrast, and red, green, and blue individually if you like. And finally back to default. Now the LED mode, like I said, you've got LED effects with animation. And a quick look at the LED. As you can see, the MSI logo and dragon are lit up, and you can actually set that in the gaming app to be a breathing LED, flashing, or a double flash. Or of course, just simply on. Moving on from there though, the gaming app, like I say, very, very simple, easy to use, one click overclock and control for the fan as well as speed. The second piece of software included with the GTX 960 2G is MSI Afterburner, which of course is available from the MSI site and works with any nVidia card and most AMD cards. Now, taking a look at Afterburner, we had an easy time overclocking the GTX 960. Very easy to work with. MSI's Afterburner, all slider controls. Now, first off, Core voltage, the voltage is locked on this card, so you're not going to be able to adjust the core voltage. If you go into settings, you will see that unlock core voltage and unlock voltage monitoring, and you can check them and to all your heart's content. It's not going to unlock the card. Now, while we're in properties, also let's just take a quick look. You've got your general properties here. Monitoring allows you, as you see, you've got the hardware monitor over here. Select which graphs are actually displayed over on your right, as well as power graph properties. You can have on-screen display of certain graphs, screen capture, video capture, and you can rename all of your profiles. The other thing I did want to point out here, we looked at the fan, and the fan does come with the Twin Frozr, which stays with the fan completely off under 60 degrees, but you can enable user-defined software control and set your own fan curve if you so desire. Heading back over to the main screen, as you see here. Next, you've got the power limiter with a drop-down box. It is linked to temp limit. You can unlink them if you so desire and adjust them individually. Personally, I do think it's better off you leaving them linked. You're never going to have a temp problem with this card. So let's just bring it all up to 108 here, which is also going to bring up the temp limit up to 95. And on the core clock, we were actually able to bring it up to 100 plus 182. And it's probably going to, there we go. And memory clock up to plus 34. Now, I was a little disappointed in the memory overclocking, I have to say. Anything over 34 megahertz increase was causing artifacting, and that was regardless of the core clock. So I don't know if that's due to the new compression that nVidia is using on the GTX 960, or if it's resultant of the card. But like I say, not a whole lot of memory clock increase was available. However, that core clock 100 plus 182, as you see, brings the base clock up to 1398 megahertz, so essentially 1400 megahertz. And we were getting a boost clock of 1565 continually, and temperatures never exceeded 63 degrees. Through all of our testing, the fan barely turned on through the entire thing. It was basically a dead silent card, which was really fantastic. Now, taking a look at the performance increases here, as you can see, I mean, nothing dramatic, but you do get a nice little bump up, from just a couple of seconds of work there, in increasing the core clock and the memory clock and the power limit. You do have to experiment a little bit, of course. Start maybe with a core clock of a 150 bump, and nudge up from there until you start seeing some artifacting. Then nudge it back a little bit, and leave it there. So you get a nice little increase for doing very little. Now, once you've locked in, as you see here, you have 5 profiles down the bottom. If you want to save this as a profile, simply hit the save button. And as you can see, you get flashing on the 5. Just select wherever you'd like to save it, and it's saved. So now, if you go back to your default settings, and you want to bring that up, just simply hit profile 1, and your overclock is already in there. And you can also apply overclocking at system startup simply by ticking that box. So very, very easy to use. The like I said, the 960 did overclock very well. I was a little disappointed with the memory overclock, but the core clock did the job. There's no question about that. And we did get a nice little performance increase with very, very limited work doing it.